All right, so we're going to finish up 2.3 and 2.4. I'm going to call these 2.4 videos on the YouTube labels, but it's all kind of combined together. So point is, you should be watching this after you've either done or watched the 2.3 worksheet. So let's do a quick review example. We want to take the derivative of this function. We know that we can break it up and look at the derivative of each particular term and then add those up. So the derivative of 3x to the fifth by the power rule and the constant rule we know is 15x to the fourth. The next one is going to be 4x, and the next one is plus a 0. So I'm not even going to write that. That's the derivative of this function. I want to point out to you that the power rule that we learned holds for rational and negative exponents. In particular, we said last time that it actually holds for any real number exponents, but I want to zoom in on the rational and the negative exponents with two quick examples. So we actually worked this out in 2.2 using the definition only, but I want to show you how you can use the power rule to do it. It's kind of nice. So you can think about root x as the same thing as x to the 1/2, and so that means that by the power rule, f prime of x is pull that power down, so I'm going to get 1/2 x to the, and then it's this power subtract 1. So 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. So this is the same thing as 1 over 2 x to the 1/2, which is the same thing as 1 over 2 square root of x, which is what we got when we worked it out from the definition only. So takeaway is, here I'm going to squeeze it in here, f prime of x is 1 over 2 square root of x. But you can get that using the power rule instead of having to use the definition. And so some of you are getting really excited, like, oh man, maybe this class won't be so horrible. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of formulas that we learn, but we took the time to explain and justify and understand where those formulas come from, which is really key. So let's do one more of these. I did this example just very recently with you guys in class, but we did it with the definition of the derivative taking limits. Let's realize we can write 1 over x as x to the minus 1, and so this means that g prime of x is just negative 1 times x to the minus 2, which is negative 1 over x squared, which is what we got when we worked it out. So that is how you can use the power rule in these other situations. So I wanted to also review the product rule with you. So I've written it down. We just did this in the worksheet. The derivative of a product f times g, f prime g plus f g prime. And so why don't you guys see if you can work out this derivative for me really quickly, see if you can get it. So pause the video. I get h prime of x is, well, the derivative of x is 1, so 1 times sine x is sine x, plus x times the derivative of sine is cosine x. And there we have it. We're done. And I guess that reminds me we should make sure that this is written down again. That's written down in the last 2.2, but I'll put it here as well. The derivative of sine is cosine. The derivative of cosine is minus sine. Make sure that you know those. All right, so let's break this video here. In the next video, we're going to ask ourselves, how can we take the derivative of a quotient of functions? And we're going to learn the quotient rule. It's exciting.